Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. 3 more pots coming your guys' way. We got this dude, he's just kind of looking at the pots right now. He looks kind of sad, so I'm going to head over there. I'm going to cheer him up. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green, off. Tilt this forward. I'm going to bend that over, and wherever that wobble is, I lower that right hand down, so then I can bring that back up towards that left hand. And again, I'm going to lower that right hand down, and then bring that back up towards that left hand, so then I can keep that under control. Add some water, and again, I'm pushing, look at where my elbow is not up, it's always down, planted into my body. Now I'm going to swap over to camera C. Here we go. Pushing my hammer fist down. Slowly walking this out to the side here. And again, I'm going to push down a little bit like you're resting into a couch, First you sit into it, and then you relax into it, right? We got our llama here. Say hello, llama. Hello. Today, I'm going to make a volcano. I'll see you guys in a second. Llama comes down, gets some more water right on this rim. Camera B. Camera B. So llama bites on this, right? And slowly walks back towards myself as that left hand slowly pushes forward, right? And then that's how I get my little volcano here, right? And why do I want the volcano? It's a lot easier to control the clay when you have this rim inwards, right? And now to get height, that's all I have to do is push in that base. So here I am right at this base. I'm slowly gonna push in that base. Slowly walk that clay up, right? We're not trying to get height, we're just trying to equalize those walls first, right? Color this in just a little bit, great. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5. Okay, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna pause, take my 2 fingers, and I'm actually gonna make that above where I want to be here, and slowly stop. And you can see it was so thin that it did kind of like a double twist here. So I have the twist in that middle, and then I twist it again right on that top edge there. I'm gonna kiss that rim, and there we go. First tree is done. Camera B. Down to the bottom. Start pushing this in. Okay, a little bit of water. That's all I'm gonna do. Hit that elbow. Do you see how my elbow's not moving anymore? And I'm gonna push my whole body weight in, and you'll see that clay wants to go up. Again, watch. I push this in, and the clay wants to go up, right? And that's all it's doing. Once it gets up, it's gonna want to tilt forward. And this other hand's just on that other side to prevent that from tilting forward, so then there's only one way for that clay to go, and that's up. Again, when I'm doing that, that's all I'm doing is pushing this left hand forward. Do you see how it's not ever going past? Like, it's never over here. I'm never pushing from over here. I'm always on that left side, using my palm, the back of my palm to push this forward. Even when I'm going down, going right down just like that. Again, some water, and look at me push that forward, right? Again, that other hand stays there, catches that, and brings it right up. Okay. Sweet. Open this up. Sometimes I like to have my one thumb in the middle, right? Look, this one's right in that middle, and this one's off to the side, right? What I found is that if I have both of my thumbs fighting for the middle, sometimes I'll get off center here, or sometimes I'll even use 2 fingers, one in the middle and one off to the side. You're gonna have to push more because you're having to fight against that centripetal force with this finger that's on the outside here. But that's how I kind of open that up nice and even. Then I'm gonna have some water on the bottom here. I'm gonna arc my fingers like a little hook. Use the tips of my fingers to cut across the base. Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Llama here. Volcano number 2 is on our way. So let's get into it. Somebody asked, when am I live? I'm live every day. If you're asking for a specific time, it's just whenever I have time, you know. Sometimes it will be early in the morning, sometimes it will be really late at night, sometimes the middle of the day. It's whenever I can fit it into my schedule. I bring that in. I've noticed that there's a little air pocket on this top, but I'm not really going to worry about that. Get some more water. Hand on the inside. Again, I'm bringing that knuckle into that base. I'm slowly bringing this up. And again, I'm not trying to get height. I'm just trying to equalize those walls the first couple times, right? Pretty tight. And then a lot of people get scared to push their clay down into the vessel. Don't worry about it, because it doesn't matter if it gets off center at the top, because we're going to do another pull, and we should recenter it when we get back to the top. So I'm at that base. I'm slowly going to project my 2 fingers from the interior out over top. I'm going to be slowly walking this up. Maintain that bump all the way to the top. I'm a little bit narrow, so it's going to be hard to keep that on center. We're slowly walking up this twist. We're right at the top here. Sweet. And now we're going to be pretty slow with how much we bring this out. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to kiss that rim. It's already placed. I feel like the more you touch it, the more opportunity you have for it to not be the way that you want. Alright. And so if it didn't grow with a twist, it didn't grow with a twist. Camera B. Down, 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 down. Have my fingers right underneath. There we go. And again, look at that left hand. Always on that left side, never going over, right? My wrist, a lot of people I see, they like almost like want to break their wrist or something. Don't do that. Keep that straight. Use that back palm there to push across. The clay's coming around, let it hit into here. Don't have it hit your hand, your fingers, then you're pushing through this middle zone, and then your palm is pushing out the clay, right? Have it catch that clay. Again, my hammer fist is coming right down to this bottom here, slowly walking out towards the side. There we go, right on center. I think a lot of it's more of like butter moments, right? I call these things butter moments, where the clay moves as smooth as butter, and whenever I'd have those moments, I would stop and try to analyze what I was doing. And then, as soon as you do that, then you just keep on making, and you don't stop, and then eventually you start to figure it out, right? So, pushing in, slowly taking my finger right up above. Now I have this bump, and that's what I'm going to be taking up here, right? And so watch how I'm just slowly walking this bump all the way to the top, and I'm going to reach this top where it's going to get thin, and instead of keeping that bump, do you see how I'm slowly dissipating that bump? So I'm not stretching out that top as much because it's already thin, right? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this one, we're probably going to do like a manual twist here, because this one is having a hard time twisting up. So I'm going to have my hands out, slowly twist this up really nice and tight. Now I'm out, and I'm going to go slowly, I'm going to go out wide, and I'm going to kind of bring this in like that, so it kind of tapers inwards here. And so you can see when you carry that twist down, it can really twist up, and you have a cool little tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk this in. Walk this in. Walk this in. Walk this in. Skip and walk this in. I have some petals on the bottom here. And why did I choose to do petals on this one is because I think there's not a lot of contrast with the treetop on this one, right? Like visual contrast going out wide. So maybe if I have that on the bottom, it would look a little bit more interesting. Hello. We're gonna start off with our pottery review. I'm gonna start off with this one. This is the last one that we just finished. You know, I was a little bit thin on the top, and instead of bringing that all the way out, you know, I brought it out just a little bit, and I slowly just carried that interior back up inwards, right? And so I gave a little bit more like width or thickness on that treetop, but I didn't go out as wide. I did a really tight twist on this one. This was a manual twist where I hold the piece in place and allow that twist to almost corkscrew it up. Think of the little twisty tie on bread, you know, kind of almost doing that on this. You know, if you ever hold a twisty tie and then spun the bread around, it's a similar kind of process to how this looks, right? I got a couple of petals on the bottom. I got, you know, I did 10 little tendrils or 10 little plucks at the skirt, and then all of a sudden now I have 5 petals, right? So you always need those even numbers to get a nice petal action there. On this one, I kind of like that this one's how the depth of the actual veins on this tree trunk are so deep, right? I think they look a little bit different than the one on the top and the one over here. And I think they start a little bit lower, and they kind of have a nice taper towards that tight twist towards the top there. It goes out decently wide, but I do think that the double tendril on this one's kind of interesting. I have this one right here, which is kind of just like snaking up right on the shoulder, and then you can kind of see the one on the other side kind of going up around and then over top into the vessel on the top there. So I think that's kind of an interesting pot. The one on the top is the first one I did today, where it was pretty thin right below where I pulled that twist outward. So I left that there and I stopped right where that happened. So you can see it's twist through that middle. And then when you get right below that top, it is a very drastic twist over to the side because it's so thin there. And so sometimes, you know, you guys might not totally get to see or have the experience with the form tangibly to understand the thickness and how it displays itself visually through the pattern of the trees. And so hopefully me explaining how that kind of happens helps you out a little bit. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best, Draw Mentality. Let's wheel. Here we go. I want to build my own machine. How about that?